Hello, it's Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for coming back, watching these videos, giving me likes, and leaving comments. I love reading your comments, so thank you very much. And today, I want to talk about Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was the first black cable car conductor in San Francisco. Maya Angelou is very special to me because I was introduced to her very early through her book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. So that was one of my coming of age kind of books when I was moving from high school into college and really getting involved in literature. So I really enjoyed that book, and I carried that book around me. I still have a copy of that book somewhere. But she went on to do other things. But she started out in San Francisco. And in the book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, she talks about her whole life, but also about leaving Arkansas as a young girl where she lived with her grandmother and moving to San Francisco to live with her mother. Maya Angelou is best known as a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, but before she began writing, she worked a string of odd jobs in her youth. When Maya first went to apply for a job as a cable car conductor in San Francisco, California, they refused to give her an application. Undeterred, she sat outside of the office every day for 2 weeks until they finally allowed her to apply for the position. So that was persistence. She was very persistent. Like, I'm going to sit here until y'all let me apply for this job. Because, in fact, it sounded like it might have been discrimination. But it was probably in the 1940s. So, nobody cared about black people being discriminated against in the 1940s. Much to her distress, when Maya read over the application paperwork, she realized she was neither old enough for the job, nor did she have the desired experience and recommendations she was required to list. In I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, she describes how she combined fact and fiction in order to complete the application, and on a blissful day, she was hired as the first black female cable car conductor in San Francisco. So, good for her. Maya Angelou was born Marguerite Annie Johnson on April 4th, 1928, and she died May 28th, 2014. She was an American memoirist, poet, and civil rights activist. She was also an author, and I would say a philosopher. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She received dozens of awards and more than 50 honorary degrees. Her series of 7 autobiographies focus on her childhood and early adult experiences. The first book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, was published in 1969, and it tells of her life up to the age of 17, and that book brought her international recognition and acclaim. And she is one of the people that I would say made the most of her life. She took what she had and she made the most of it. And she has left us with a series of quotes that people repeat and sometimes maybe not even know who said them. But I want to share some of her most famous quotes. If someone shows you who they really are, believe them. And she added a little bit to that. She said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And that's right too, because they're not going to change. Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. When you learn, teach. When you get, give. By Maya Angelou. Sweet and simple. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Maya Angelou. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Maya Angelou, 1928 till 2014. This is the account that she gives when she went home and told her mother that they would not let her apply for the job as a cable car conductor. She says, I went back to mother and said they wouldn't even allow me to apply. And she asked me why. Do you know why? I said yes, because I'm a Negro. This was 1943 in San Francisco, and they would not let her apply for a job as a cable car conductor. So she went on to live quite an extraordinary life. I think she was in Hollywood at one point, acting. She's married several men, including an African, a white man or two, and a black man or two. So she lived an interesting life. If you haven't read the book, it's worth checking out. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Thank you for watching, everybody, and if you have time, leave a comment, please. And as always, have a great evening.